Hello, it's me, Sky, and welcome to my final video of 2024. So, 2024, yes, I gave a lot of thought on how I would describe this year, how I would summarize this year, kind of a lot of personal reflection, I guess, but I'm not going to go in depth about all of that. I kind of want to keep this video short. I just want this video to be here as kind of a placeholder for the end of this year. Good riddance to this year. And this is not going to be diamond painting related. It's just a personal video. I need this as a closure mark for this era that has been 2024. Do you guys get all reflective at the end of each year? I always try to look back on the year and think about what I could have done better, what I would do differently, and make some goals for the next year, which my goals will be a whole other video, which probably will be more diamond painting related. But looking back on this year, I don't think a lot about the hobbies that I did. I don't think a lot about diamond painting or crochet or books or games. It was all just overshadowed by health stuff and trauma, and that's really not how I want to remember this year, but I think that there's just no way around it. This will always be that year for me. I know that many of you have already heard me go on and on and on about the many things that went on in my life this year, but for anyone who is new this year, I started off the year with a series of minor health issues, getting root canals and running fevers and having to be on antibiotics over and over and over, and just it was not fun, and I was exhausted. And then later in the year, I ended up having to have surgery for an ovarian tumor that was discovered to be borderline for ovarian cancer. So basically, it's not all the way malignant, but it's not benign either, and it could really go either way, and it could recur, and if it recurs, there's no telling what it would be. So now I have to be monitored every few months for years and years and years, probably forever. I'll have to keep, if my doctors don't survey me, I'll have to keep an eye on my own personal symptoms, because it can recur of any time, forever, for the rest of my life. So it was a lot to take in, and my tumor was particularly advanced towards cancer. So it's something that I just had to process and deal with in the latter half of this year. And then also during that same time, my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer, lung cancer, and then passed away from that cancer. And that's what, it's just been just a downhill slide through this latter part of the year. And actually, just a couple of nights ago, we had a really bad storm. I think I took some footage of the damage, but our porch fell in on top of the car, and now we're gonna have to deal with repairs and insurance and deductibles, and it's just 2024 just kept on giving, But when I was thinking about this video, and I was thinking about telling you guys all of that terrible stuff that I probably just talked for way too long about, I thought about the good things, that there would be good things. And there were. I went through my phone, and I started on January the 1st of this year, and I went back through my entire year's worth of photos, and I found so many things that I had either forgotten or just had let them be overshadowed by the negative things. And I created a whole album in my phone of photos that were happy times, happy memories, and I had at least one for every month of the year. And I'm gonna go through those and talk about them. And I know that this is like way personal. This is like stuff that I should just send my family and not put out on the internet. But you guys are my family. So I'm gonna go quickly. I know that everybody who just wants to hear about diamond painting has already left. So if you're still here, you guys are the real ones. So I'm just gonna pop these pictures up on the screen. I would encourage you to do something similar to this, especially if you had a really bad year, to go back and look at either your posts on social media or the videos that you made or the photos you have on your phone or however, something that you keep up with regularly. Go and look back all the way from January and find the good stuff, because there's bound to be good stuff. Okay, so I started in January with this, should I scoot over? Maybe I should scoot over so I can pop these pictures up beside me. But I started with a picture of Nugget, which this isn't really a happy time for Nugget. This was right after the new year, and he was still scared to go outside because he thought there would be fireworks still. There weren't going to be fireworks, but he was absolutely refusing to go on his walks, and I just found that picture hilarious. It makes me smile still. And then in January, my son decided he wanted to learn photography, and he took this really beautiful photo of an ice storm we had, and I just thought that he did a great job, and I was very proud of him. And then in February, we got this truck back from paint. It used to be red, and we got it painted this color, and this became, for Kenneth, the year of the truck. We took the truck to a gajillion shows. We got new wheels on it, a new steering wheel for it. There's photos of that. He has those. This is the photo I have from when we got it back from getting painted. And that was a very happy time for the whole family. I think that it might have been my son that took this photo, or he took some photos that day. I don't know if this is one of his or not, but anyway, it was just a happy occasion. And then my son turned 13. He turned into his teenage years, which is bittersweet, but I think it was a happy time. He was glad to be in his teenage years, and I'm glad that he's glad. And it hasn't been bad at all. Having a teenage boy has been a delight so far. Hopefully it doesn't change. And then in March, my kids colored eggs with me still, which I worried that they weren't going to do this year because they're teenagers, and they still did it. We still colored eggs just like we have for many, many years. I don't know how many more years they'll do it, but they let me have that one. And then in April, we went to watch the eclipse at a space center, and it was too cloudy to actually see the eclipse, but we watched it. They had a televised broadcast inside the Space Center, so we watched it on TV, but at the Space Center, it was still good. We had a good time. And then I planted a little garden. It did not do well at all, but I planted it, and I was thrilled about it, and I'm going to try it again next year, so that is a happy memory. Nugget's just here in like most of these photos, just he's along for the ride. And then my daughter, she turned 16, and Nugget was there to photobomb her as well. Disregard that Diamond Art Club box in the background that's all cut up. My son was doing some type of cardboard related project at the time, and he cut up one of my Diamond Art Club boxes. Then for her birthday, we went to a water park / amusement park a few hours away from us, and that was a really, really good time. And then in June, it became the summer of the water park. We had a water park open like in our town, which is the one in the photo, and we went there a lot of times. Enough times that this year we have already purchased our season passes for next summer. So we really loved it, and that was pretty much all of June and July. That's what we were doing. And then also in July, we watched the Olympics, and my son watched it with me, which I didn't think he would ever do. Whenever he was a little tiny baby, we watched was it London Olympics? I don't remember how many years ago the London Olympics were, but we watched an Olympics when he was a tiny baby, and he would just like fall asleep on my chest while I watched. in the evenings, and I just had such good memories of that. And he's never, not one time since then, taken any slight interest in watching the Olympics, but this year he finally watched them with me, so I got to wrap that memory back around. And then in August sucked. August sucked. And that was the month of my surgery, of being like really sick, and then finding out I needed surgery, and finding out what was in there, and then having the surgery and all of that. But the good memories from then were my family sitting outside and waiting for me to come home from the hospital. My mom was driving me home, and they were there to welcome me home, and they bought me some gifts. So there's me, very drugged up, receiving my gifts, and Nugget, who had no idea what was going on. But yeah, they're good. They're my family, they're good. And then in September, my neighbor had realized that I had been too sick to plant my flowers. She always compliments my flowers that I plant in my front yard, and she had noticed that I hadn't planted any, and she gave me these, and they were very, very, very pretty. And then October, of course, was Halloween, and we we have Beetlejuice and Garfield, and I knew when they bought these costumes that one of them was going to be hot and one of them was going to be cold on the day. Like it's inevitable. Somebody was going to be uncomfortable. We were either going to have a hot one or a cold one. And it turned out that it was hot on Halloween, so my son was miserable in his giant Garfield costume. But it could have easily gone the other way, and then our Beetlejuice could have been freezing to death if it would have been cold. Because the year before on Halloween, it was like literally freezing. It was under 32 degrees. So I guess she got lucky this year. And then November. November was the hardest one for me to find a good, like something good and happy. This was the month that my grandmother was her sickest, and this was when she passed away, and we had her funeral, and I had a hard time finding anything good. But I did find a screenshot I took of these text messages from her that she used to text me the night before any type of appointment that I had that she knew I would be worried about, to wish me well. And yeah, she did that all the way until she was too sick to reply anymore. And also, my son got 4 teeth pulled, and he got braces, which I kind of thought about not including that as a good thing, but you can see the smile. He's excited. He was excited to get braces, and he wasn't excited to get teeth pulled, and that was a bad day. But he did well. He did really well, and he soldiered through all of the dental stuff, and now he is well on his way. I can already see that his teeth are straighter, and they've only been on there like a couple of months. So I'm really glad that we've got that started. And then December, of course, was Christmas. We went around and looked at lots of Christmas lights, and we did lots of Christmassy activities. And then there's Nugget in front of the Christmas tree, because Nugget is part of my happy experiences. And then here we are, today, New Year's Eve, the final day of 2024. And then all of those things that we just looked at, I hope that I talked longer. I hope that I talked longer about the good things than the bad things. And I won't keep you guys here forever. I hope that you have a wonderful New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Happy New Year, and I hope that your 2025 is absolutely wonderful. I hope your 2024 was wonderful as well. I am going to get this video up and then wait for the sun to go down and my neighbors to start shooting fireworks and Nugget to get absolutely terrified. This is always one of our worst nights, this and 4th of July, because poor Nugget, he does not do well with the fireworks. But we're gonna do the best we can to keep him comfortable and let him know that he is safe. He's right over here. You can probably hear him snoring. But I think that's all from me, you guys. I will be back with more videos soon. I can't wait to make a goal video. I actually need to kind of figure out what my goals are, but I've been thinking of them in my head. But I just wanted to close out this year And thank you guys for being here with me. I know that I wasn't here with you most of the year, but I'm glad that when I came back, you guys just really rallied around me, and that really helped more than you could ever know. If I had any photos of you guys to just pop up, they would be there in my good memories of this year. So thank you, and Happy New Year. And 2024, good riddance.